Doing it back then?
Nobody. Nobody. Look at all the styles in the world in 1960s and 70s. You don't see no front strikes. You see a reverse punch, you see a back smash, you see a spin back smash. You never saw this hit. Locking it. Right? But this is boxing. Pop! But in karate, when you lock it, that's called a front strike.
And you said right up in...
I started years ago. The K system came from the K system. You know what they call the heel kick, up down heel kick? Do you know the styles that have that? Going back in the 60s.
Nothing back then.
Okay. Who you think started that? Karriem AbDallah.
They just came out of...
What happened now, they don't know about me because I was a monster in the 60s and 70s. And now that faded away. Now I'm back in the 2000 in mixed martial art. I got to resurface so they know that a black man created that stuff.
Is there any film from back then or pictures or?
I have some video stuff that I got to put together to put on my new website.
Okay.
And they'll be able to see. But in this book, I'm going to give you this book on the freestyle crouch and the things that you'll see in here these guys are doing, and I did it way back in the 60s and 70s. But I was the first. I was the first black man in history of America to start training the music in karate. Nobody wasn't training music in karate in the 60s and 70s. And I got the magazine, Official Karate, said it's a bad joke to do it. And I said, how do you figure that? I said, people in the Congo train the music. People in Asia train the music. Every nationality have music that they train to. I said, why can't a karate man train the music? And then I was the first one to start doing katas the music. Nobody wasn't doing katas the music. Nobody. Look in the history books in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And then you see in the 70s that guy Karriem AbDallah started doing katas the music. So all of it came, and I could prove it. Because I have the magazines that says it, and then if I'm talking to him, say a guy in Taekwondo,
okay, he
trained in music. Since where is it in Taekwondo that you train in music when you go back to the guys who brought Taekwondo from Korea? You won't find it. In Shotokan, you know, when Yamaguchi came in Guju Karate, it wasn't nobody moving the music, training the music. Maso Yama wasn't training the music. He was knocking bulls out with his fist, but he wasn't training the music. That came from me. The K system, Karriem AbDallah. And all of it can be proven. It's a part of history. You know, I could talk to anybody in any martial art and break them down as far as what they're doing now, what they did then, and what they're doing now. You know the movement that they do around, or all that movement? You know where that came from? You're looking at it. Karriem AbDallah. Why is they call it freestyle? Freestyle is freedom of movement. And see, the other styles were so rigid, you know, like Shotokan, rigid.
Okay.
Styles was rigid, was too rigid. But we have movement. So I knew the guys I was standing in front of coming up was too strong. So I started movement without me knowing it was the freestyle.
Okay.
And once I developed and I realized I was creating a system, then I just called it freestyle because it's just freedom of movement, doing different moves. And I have a style, freestyle crouch, that's freedom of movement. And I created 7 styles, 18 in-between styles, a total of 25 different styles. I didn't sit down and make them up. It was created.
And they all traveled the world?
All of them. All of them are meaningful, and I trained fighters in just about every style, and they became champs. I trained over 20,000 people, but I had champions in each category. Peewee division, junior division, woman division, white belt, green belt, brown belt, and black belt. I didn't just have one champion. I had a series of champions. And these books you see here are the history that I kept of all the fighters that I trained, and all the history of letters that different instructors sent me and complimented me on the system that I created. All this is history here. And then in my room, come on, we're going to go in my room. I'm going to show you all the